darker than the East River, larger than the Empire State.
Have you ever listened to a piece of music that makes you feel nostalgic, despite the fact that it's your first time listening to it? There's only 3 hip-hop artists that I could say have made me feel this consistently. While I could easily talk about all 3 of those artists, I've chosen to focus on one of these artists for today. The infamous supervillain, mfdoom. mfdoom is one of the most unique musical artists of all time. Seriously, I really can't name anyone that feels like him. The only ones that ever really feel like him just so happen to be heavily influenced by him. He's a guy that I could truly say made his own lane and took it as far as he could. And as you can see, I'm a big fan of his music. I'd even go as far to say that he's in my top 5 rappers of all time. But everyone has their introduction to an artist. There's always that first person to recommend you a song, or the first song you hear on the radio, or that first moment of recognition. Well, mine is a bit different to many, I'd assume. It was about 2017, 2018, and I was on a road trip to my ancestral homeland of New Jersey. Thus, I was looking for music to listen to on that trip. By that point, I'd already listened to some of Kendrick's albums and Tyler the Creator's Flower Boy, and at this point, I really just wanted to get more into classic hip-hop and rap. Now, I know that not everyone likes this particular reviewer, but I went to Anthony Fantano's YouTube channel for some recommendations and immediately saw his review for Food. By this point, I knew who mfdoom was, I knew his iconic mask, but I hadn't really heard any of his music. Thus, when I saw that review and saw how he basically just praised him the entire video, I just had to check it out. I popped it on my YouTube and listened to that whole thing during the drive. And man, that was an experience. Driving through all the cities in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, watching that graffiti and the people pass me by while listening to mfdoom is such an experience. Honestly, since then, I still keep that memory close to my heart, and Doom is directly related to that experience. It's very important to me. After this, I got deeper and deeper into his catalog, listening pretty much to everything I could. But Food is one of the few that really stands at the top. Now, I know everyone adores Mad Villainy, and trust me, I love Mad Villainy. It's literally a perfect album, a 10 out of 10. Yet, Food is also beloved amongst Doom's fans. And really, it's mine too, for personal reasons. I mean, if you were to ask me what Doom album to listen to first, I'd say it's Food. I think it's the album that best encapsulates mfdoom's particular style and aesthetic. It's just got his most oddball and creative concepts. Just want to clarify here though, do go listen to Mad Villainy. It's literally one of Doom's best albums, if not one of the best albums ever made. Not just in rap, just period. It's that good. It's crazy when you take into consideration that Food and Mad Villainy came out in the same year. Like, that's actually insane. That'd be like if Kendrick dropped Good Kid Mad City and To Pimp a Butterfly in the same year, or if Daft Punk released Discovery and Random Access Memories in the same year. Doom was on a generational run from 1999 to 2004. Seriously, look at the releases during that time. In chronological order, you had Operation Doomsday, Take Me to Your Leader, Vaudeville Villain, VV2, Mad Villainy, and then Food. The only album there that I'd say is lackluster is VV2. But the rest are basically rap delicacies. The only other rapper I could say that was on a crazy back-to-back run like this was Lil Wayne from 2007 to 2011. Of course, Doom didn't have the same level of success that Lil Wayne did, but the level of quality from both artists' runs is crazy when you go back to think about it. So I guess all I gotta ask myself is, does the album still hold up? Well, before I answer that, let's do some research on the subject. Allow me to give you the origin story of mfdoom, or should I say, Daniel Dumoulint's origin story. When he was younger, he took up a major interest in music and comics, which is where the name Doom comes from, which adds up now that you think of it. Though he wouldn't make Doom his stage name. No, in fact, he was actually in a rap group called KMD before becoming Doom, where he went under the name Zeb Love X, with other members, Onyx the Birthstone Kid, Jade One, and their producer DJ Subrock, which DJ Subrock was actually Daniel's older brother. They were a group I'd compare to, say, De La Soul, or maybe a lighter version of A Tribe Called Quest, but they're also still pretty unique in their own right. They were a clever and fun rap group from the era. They made a pretty decent impact with their first album, Mr. Hood, and were planning to release a second album called Black Bastards, but that was until the group fell apart, one member left, and sadly, Daniel Dumoulint's brother Subrock passed away due to a car accident. Yeah, this was a pretty tragic part of his life, and the painful thing was the album was held back for years before releasing, which is what left Daniel Dumile in a space of isolation and grief. He speaks on songs about being left at a state of near homelessness after this event, just barely able to make it by. He says he literally slept on park benches some nights, and that's when the idea of revenge came to his mind. Years later, he decided to come back, performing with a metal mask as something new, or rather, someone. His name was mfdoom. Of course, some of that is left up to legend. Most of that's probably true, but there's probably some embellishment in there. You see, I have to say that because Doom is a rare breed of artist, especially in today's climate. He's an artist that rarely ever gives away personal information or personal stories to the public. I mean, he wears a metal mask for a reason. He's all about the music. I should say here as well, Doom is a rapper with an undeniable legacy, especially in the rap underground. There's so many big named and underground rappers that name Doom as a major influence. To name a few, we have Tyler the Creator, JPEG Mafia, Childish Gambino, Freddie Gibbs, Earl Sweatshirt, Mos Def. You get the picture. It just makes me a bit melancholic that Doom wouldn't get any sort of mainstream recognition until after his death. Mostly through TikTok. Part of me wishes he was able to see his blow up when he was still alive, but what can you do, right? If you want a good video that also goes over Doom's history and discography, check out the YouTube channel Mike the Snare. But when it comes to the making of Food, there's a great section on the 20th anniversary version of the album where Dumile speaks a lot about his mindset and the processes of making an album, and his opinions on the album as a whole. He speaks about how this was more of a personalized album, how it's meant to be, in a sense, that it's more about MF Doom's character speaking his mind on subjects instead of just rapping and battle lines. He also says that he works differently when working on his own beats than when a producer gives him a beat. It's easy for him to weave in the places of someone else's beat as a rapper, but when he's producing and rapping, he's got to think about his process when doing this stuff, which he mentions as to why the album is different in comparison to a lot of his other albums. He's also spoken about how he deals with writer's block. Basically, he says it's kind of like how stand-up comedians work and try not to overthink the process. He still gets writer's block for sure, and even worries about it every time, but sometimes he's just gotta take a step back and just do his work. Now with all that being said, let's see how the album holds up. The first song we have on here is Beef Rap, and it's a great intro track. He starts off with a classic Doom skit where he chops together clips from old films and cartoons to create a story or present a general concept. Also notice how they mention in the skit that Operation Doomsday is complete, which is Doom's first album. In a way, I like to see this album as part of a thematic trilogy with Operation Doomsday and Mad Villainy. Now, I think we all know Operation Doomsday is the first one, but where you place the last two is up to you. I like to think as Food is the last one in this trilogy, and the song Beatstro and Mad Villainy is the setup for this album. But my stupid headcanons aside, let's actually talk about the track's lyrics. It's just genius wordplay, comparing the dangers of eating beef to actual rap beef, and how he doesn't want any part of rap beef. It's kinda clever. My favorite set of bars being,
What up? To all rappers, shut up with your shutting up and keep a shirt on, at least a button up. Yuck, as they rhymers are stripping males, out of work jerks since they shut down Chippendales.
come on, that's just funny. And when it comes to the beat, it just goes off. It's a classic Doom beat through and through, and he does this clever thing of rhyming the last bars of his word with food, so that the vocal chop of the song ends the rhyme scheme. Just a great starter to a great album. He's so damn confident and villainous on this track. Hoe Cakes. This song's beat is an example of Doom using an unusual sample and somehow making it work. He samples the song Supersonic by JJ Fad, and he chops up the vocals on the track, specifically chopping the word super and using it to end his rhyme schemes. It's a very creative mixing of beat with the lyrics, which is something I do wish more rappers would do. The title of the song is a reference to the food hoe cakes. A hoe cake is a pancake-like food, usually with extra sides and things to put on top, but using the word hoe cake to also play into the idea of pimping out a hoe. So he's playing around with the idea of spoiling a woman or a prostitute with putting things like syrup or dressing on a breakfast item. At least, that's what I think he's going for. My favorite bar on the track being,
Whether a bougie boy, nerd, hoe, street chick, you don't call a wife if you met her at the freak nick.
I don't know, that's just funny, one of Doom's most creative songs. Potholders, featuring Count D Bass. I actually think my favorite set of bars are from Count D Bass on this track. This set of bars right here speaks to me.
My name is Dwight Spitz, I'm a sonic addict. I used to think it was merely a nagging habit. born under a bad sign. I'm serious about this curse of mine. I strive to flip it in the...
I can heavily relate to this because as someone who wants to pursue artistic fulfillment, I can definitely relate. Sometimes you really just gotta push yourself to do more and more, and while your brain says it's too much effort, your inner self knows it needs to do more. It just feels like a curse sometimes, but if you're really passionate, you push through it. Don't worry though, Doom still has a funny, clever verse on this one. One beer. This is one of MF Doom's most iconic songs ever made. If you find any Doomhead in public and rap at them, there's only one beer left, I can almost guarantee that they'll start rapping the whole song with you. The beat was made by the ever-legendary, ever-graceful, always stylish Madlib. You know, Madlib, one of the best music producers to ever live. The crazy part is too, this was supposed to be on Mad Villainy, but was on here instead. This is one of Madlib's most unique beats. I mean, I feel like this beat is seared into most Doom heads' brains. It's just a phenomenal beat that comes with one of Doom's best verses and even most quotable verses. He's just going off, flowing seamlessly on the beat and hitting you with punchline after punchline after punchline. On top of that, he's singing. He may not be a great singer, but who cares? It's fun. A genuine 10 out of 10 MF Doom classic. Deep Fried Friends. This is a song that I wish I paid more attention to when I was younger. This song is a moment of Doom giving the listener a strong piece of advice about what friends to keep and which ones to not, even giving a lot of examples on how to spot fake friends from real ones, which I think most people can relate to, and I can too. Maybe a bit too much. I love this set of bars.
You could either ignore this advice or take it from me. Be too nice, some people take you for a dummy. So nowadays he ain't so friendly. Actually, they wouldn't even made a worthy enemy.
I think this is just speaking about how sometimes coming off unfriendly is really just being honest, and how people need to learn how to distance themselves to just randoms they barely know, or even people who are just not their friends. Sampling Houdini here is also great too. Like, I've never heard the song before, but it blends perfectly into what Doom's trying to say. Doom is just great at digging through record crates and finding some of the great things to sample. Anyways, this is one of my favorite tracks on the album. Poop Putt Platter, Filet-O Wrapper, Gumbo, Fig Leaf Bicarbonate. The interludes. Here's one of the most interesting parts of the album. I like to describe it as a 4-part sound collage. Now, I can get why a lot of people say it ruined the pacing of the album, which I used to agree, but now I kinda like it. I mean, it's only about 4 minutes long, and it sounds really good. I think some of Doom's best beats ever are on this section of the album. I mean, come on, the beat on Filet-O Wrapper is just so nice. It's so relaxing, like a theme song from a Saturday morning cartoon or something. Con Carne. This is my favorite song on the album. It wasn't always, but over the years I've learned to love the song more. It's a little bit low-key and a little bit melancholic too. The song is dedicated to Doom's older brother Sub Rock, if you still remember that from the research section of the video. He passed away years before this song came out, so it gives the sense of melancholic nostalgia, reminiscing on the good and the bad, speaking about what was good back then and knowing it's no longer there. He has some dark bars on here, but it feels more like it is what it was, if you get what I mean. I really like the set of bars.
As I reminisce, never forgot when I was very broke, shot the Henny straight, couldn't afford to cop the cherry coke. Or should I say broke with wealth, to know enough to give them just enough rope to yoke theyself.
There's a real sense of pain in those bars, but he doesn't dwell on it too long. He just presents it how it was. The Sade sample is just phenomenal as well, though it helps that I'm quite the fan of Sade's music and Doom's, so it's the best of both worlds. Guinnesses featuring Star and Four Eyes. Star has a crazy good-ass flow and bars on this song. Kinda reminds me of a New York flip on something that Missy Elliott would have been doing. Four Eyes' hook is also just fun. It's hard to not join him when he shouts, "Incoming!" The crazy thing about this song is that Doom is only on production, but Star and Four Eyes carry their performances elegantly on this track. Great stuff. Con Queso. This is one of Doom's craziest beats. He's just rapping his ass off the whole song. He literally opens up saying this isn't for the faint of heart. I don't even think I need to describe this one at all, just go check it out. Rap Stitches Knishes, featuring Mr. Fantastic. The crazy thing is how this song is still relevant today. I mean, people are now literally trying to use song lyrics to arrest and sue rappers now. It's wild. But come on, you've heard this song. The hook is perfect, Doom and Fantastic slip and slide through the beat effortlessly. It's Doom's most popular song for a reason. It's simply catchy as hell. Yet another timeless MF Doom classic. Vomit Spit. Part of me wishes this and the next track actually swapped places, because this would be an incredible final track. This may be one of Doom's best rapping performances ever. He's just going so damn hard on the track, annihilating the song at an atomical level. It helps that he's got an insane beat to lay it on top of. I love these bars in particular because of how clever he uses horror references.
Bring it back to your laboratory while he's in his oratory. Glorious like a horror story. The mask is like Jason. They told the place not to let the basket type case in.
That's just really clever wordplay and just really good referential humor. Cookies. This last track is one of Doom's funnier tracks, and the fact that he stays so faithful to the cookie metaphor for porn stars is just commendable. Again, we've got a great beat, and Doom's flow is all over the board. It's like a tactical assault rifle, or more like the battle rifle from Halo. He's just shooting burst shots with precision. Actually, never mind, don't think about it like that. It sounds gross if you think about it in the context of the song. Anyways, we just got a funny song here with a fun narrative to close out the album. Overall, this is still one of my favorite albums of all time. It just sticks so close to his vision, and because of that, it'll age like fine wine. And that's the pure strength of Doom. He is who he is, unapologetically. I think that style of artist is finally coming back to some extent if current music culture is to be believed. But it makes me wonder if we'd even have an era like this without Doom. Maybe Doom isn't the villain we deserved, but the villain we need. And that's all I really gotta say about Food. Do you agree with me? Do you not? Let me know in the comments below. Please, if you enjoyed, like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that. With all that being said, I'll see you next time.